Tesla just dropped the hammer for the Q1 2026 update. We'll get to some highlights from the earnings call itself, but first the actual earnings report. And before we do, can anyone see on this chart where they think Tesla may have reported earnings? Stock going absolutely vertical after hours, up give or take 4% as I record this. I wonder what caused this. I won't spend too long on the boring financials of today, as I've mentioned in the past. In the future, these kind of numbers are going to look like rounding errors relative to what autonomy and then the Optimus humanoid robot brings in. But just really quickly, Tesla profitable for the quarter, put another $700 million in the bank despite spending plenty. Anyone's wondering, the analysts on Wall Street, their consensus guess for Tesla earnings per share was way below Tesla's actual number. Maybe that might have something to do with the after hours buying activity on the stock. Who knows? But on to stuff that actually matters. Operations milestones. Received approval for FSD supervised in Netherlands in April. Launched unsupervised Robotaxi rides in Dallas and Houston in April. Began ramping lithium, cathode and LFP production in the quarter. Now, a couple of highlights from their summary. We continue to make meaningful progress on the build out of the infrastructure and AI software that underpins our Robotaxi and future robotics businesses in Q1. Commenced the ramp of additional AI compute, new factories across battery and battery materials, and further prepared lines for the start of production of Megapack 3, Cybercab, and Tesla Semi. We saw continued growth in demand for our vehicles in markets in APAC and South America, while also seeing a rebound of demand in both Europe, Middle East and Africa, and North America. On to some of the really juicy highlights. Check this out. Make sure you're sitting down, and I'm not kidding. Actually, I am. Standing desks for life. Tesla's active FSD subscription number blowing people away. Year-over-year increase of 51%. A continual, steady trend up in number of active FSD subscriptions. Keep in mind, it still hasn't launched in most of the world, so this is pretty much on the back of the United States only. A year ago, 850,000 active subscribers. Steadily been increasing now at 1.28 million. Hasn't launched in China. I mean, it's only just launched in Netherlands. The floodgates are only just starting to creak open slightly. Two massive tailwinds for FSD. Launches in additional regions around the world, and the software itself becoming increasingly capable. Skipping straight to the juicy stuff. Under robotics, preparations for our first large-scale Optimus factory will begin shortly in Q2. The first generation line, designed for 1 million robots a year, will replace the Model S and Model X lines in Fremont. We are also preparing Gigafactory Texas for the second generation line. Just want to make sure you guys are following along. They haven't even started production of Gen 1 with a capacity of 1 million units a year, and they're already preparing in Giga Texas for the second gen line, which will be designed for long-term annual production capacity of 10 million robots. What the actual? And am I imagining things, or is this new? Under installed annual manufacturing capacity. Obviously, automotive, been there for a while. Energy generation and storage, or maybe added a year or so ago. And now we also have robotics, Optimus production in both California and Texas. More juicy stuff. AI training and compute. Cortex 2 now online and has already started running training workloads. And possibly the greatest chart in this entire report. This is existing AI training capacity in the solid blue line versus future planned capacity. And for some very curious reason, this looks just like the Tesla stock chart did after hours. Tesla with a massive, near vertical increase in AI training capacity, which will translate to a massive, potentially near vertical increase in their AI capability. Do not ignore this. Onto the AI and software slide. As we know, a major milestone this quarter, the AI 5 chip tape out. And can you believe it? There is mention of SpaceX. Let's read it. AI inference compute. Coinciding with Robotaxi and Optimus ramps, we are expanding our scope of manufacturing to include semiconductor fabrication. Oh, music to my ears. Yes, it's officially now in an earnings report. Tesla will be getting into the chip fabrication business, which they told us during the Terafab announcement. But now here it is. An important step to ensure sufficient and resilient chip supply. Our partnership with SpaceX aims to build the largest chip fabrication ever, vertically integrating logic, memory, and advanced packaging to allow for rapid iteration as we anticipate greater chip demand than what existing and planned industry capacity can accommodate. This begins with the Tesla-owned research fab on our Gigafactory Texas campus. In April, we completed the final chip design of a next-generation AI inference processor. So here it is in writing quite clearly. SpaceX in partnership with Tesla to build at least aiming to build the largest chip fabrication ever. Now, a quick look specifically at paid Robotaxi services. Cumulative paid Robotaxi miles trending in the right direction, exponentially as expected. And Tesla's announced, as in disclosed, near-term planned Robotaxi coverage. Last report, by the way, this stuff was flagged as first half of the year. Now, a change in wording. You can see on screen, these are cities to keep an eye on, currently operating some degree or another in the San Francisco Bay Area, Austin, Dallas, and Houston, the latter two of which just launched on the weekend. Preparations currently underway for Phoenix, Arizona, 3 cities in Florida, Miami, Orlando, and Tampa, plus Las Vegas, Nevada. And that's just the stuff they've announced. Always great to look at some of the photos toward the end of a Tesla earnings report. Here we see the Cortex 2 building for AI training. This is obviously the outside. Following slide. Inside, Cortex 2 AI training cluster. A couple of factory shots, the body in white production in Texas. Tesla semi-production line. And let this one sink in. Optimus factory site preparation. In the background there, Giga, Texas. These motherfuckers are already beginning preparations, not for their first generation production line over in Fremont, California for 1 million Optimus per year. This is Gen 2, the long-term output goal of 10 million Optimus robots per year. They're already beginning preparations. What the actual groundbreaking also having taken place for the research fab at Giga, Texas. And as we know, the start of Cybercab production has commenced. Onto the earnings call highlights. First, Elon's opening remarks, straight out of the gates, letting investors know to expect a substantial increase in Tesla's investments in the future, meaning capital expenditure will be up probably a lot. Of course, he adds that the investment here is likely to bring massive returns, aka will pay off in a big way. Also risking it all with another prediction that Optimus is likely to be useful outside of Tesla probably sometime next year, at which point do the math. If it's useful outside of Tesla, then obviously that's when you start selling and or leasing Optimus robots to customers. Musk confirming again that he still believes, is convinced in fact, that Optimus will be the biggest product ever. Some might even call it the final product. He also said that Tesla will be, to the best of their ability, ramping production of all vehicle models in all factories this year. So that would include the 3 and the Y, the Cybercab, the Semi, and Cybertruck. Did I miss any? Recall earlier, we saw a massive increase in FSD take rates. This is no doubt going to provide a massive tailwind for Tesla vehicles, including their existing lineup, especially as FSD supervised launches in new countries around the world. Approval in Netherlands has now paved the way for much of the rest of the European Union, and they're currently also working on FSD approval in China. FSD supervised becoming available can't possibly be a bad thing for demand for Tesla vehicles anywhere. So keep an eye on this. This is currently flat-ish automotive business. It's about to receive a bit of rocket fuel. Megapack 3 production also starting this year. As we know, Tesla's energy storage products, near infinite demand, crazy wait times, and extremely profitable. Plus, they're gigantic products. Typically, an order size for a Megapack, we can be talking hundreds of millions of dollars or more for a single customer order. We also learned FSD version 15, aiming for early next year, will be a complete overhaul of the software architecture. The bottom line there, this will massively increase safety above FSD 14, which is already much safer than humans in almost every situation. On the Robotaxi launch in both Dallas and Houston, 2 of the top 10 largest cities by population in the US, I'll add. No incidents or collisions yet, and Musk adding that they're being super cautious, obviously, because they don't want injuries or collisions. And the product to end all products, Optimus, Tesla in the final stages of wrapping up the hardware design for the first production model of Optimus, Musk saying that by around mid-year it should be ready to show off, which they will do. He added that it's mostly aesthetic things that are left to do now. So hardware-wise, it's probably functioning fine, gets the job done, but maybe still a little butt-ass ugly. Musk also being pretty candid, saying that although every time we unveil things, our competitors tend to do a frame-by-frame analysis. So we'll be very curious to see what is and is not shown off with this design. Musk's concluding opening remark, reminding investors that Tesla is working on a lot of large, that's an understatement, ambitious, also an understatement, challenging, also you get the point, and revolutionary projects. No shit, Sherlock. Tesla CFO reminded investors that their automotive backlog is growing. A big disclosure that they're hoping for FSD supervised approval in China in the third quarter. This, by the way, would be massive. It's a huge market. Their existing install base is enormous. Never mind any customers who hear about this software and end up purchasing a Tesla vehicle once it's approved. I mean, this is going to be so good. And also adding to expect, give or take, I think I need more sleep, around $25 billion in capex for 2026. Tesla currently ramping multiple factories, half a dozen of them. There's Robotaxis, there's Optimus, investing in the future. Tesla going to be spending big this year. On to retail investor questions. Asked when the Optimus production would start, Musk responds that they're aiming for late July or August. Although after mentioning that, he then goes on to explain the dismantling of the Model S and X production facilities, which you can't do instantly, you got to do piece by piece. Then explains that dismantling the S and X production and then ramping Optimus production in that same factory footprint. To do that in 4 months, which by the way, would put them, by my math, in August. To do that in 4 months would be insanely fast. Yet, insanely fast is the goal for the Optimus production start. On Robotaxi, Tesla hoping, I noticed the word hope appearing a few times in these responses, hoping for a dozen or so states by the end of year. They've had no injuries or fatalities in a Tesla Robotaxi to date, and they want to keep it that way. So Musk saying that it's probably not going to contribute to Tesla materially until the end of next year. Asked about unsupervised FSD for customers, Musk's guess here, probably fourth quarter, and adding that they will release FSD unsupervised gradually when they're confident that particular areas are safe. So as expected here, a gradual piece-by-piece rollout should surprise absolutely no one. Asked what enabled the AI5 chip tape-out to finish early. Musk says the team worked incredibly hard to make it happen. They always do. They worked every weekend for 6 months straight, and Musk was personally there. Team made a lot of sacrifices and didn't make any dumb mistakes. Dramatic pause that we know of. You got to love the guy's humility. The plan is that AI5 will go into Optimus and data centers at least at first, then maybe makes it into automotive, but he adds that AI4 looks likely to achieve far greater than human safety levels with FSD. So there's absolutely no need to be putting the AI5 chips into Tesla vehicles. When asked about Robotaxi in Europe, Musk points out the obvious things. Doesn't really happen before we at least have unsupervised FSD broadly in Europe. He added though, and this is good, material and new. They're expecting, or at least he thinks that timing is that FSD supervised is going to Brussels for European Union review in May, which means, based on my interpretation, if this is the first place he throws out after we know about Netherlands, then this is probably the second place that we're going to see approval for FSD supervised in Europe. Keep an eye for Brussels. He adds that the next thing beyond that is to aim for Robotaxi in Europe, but clearly they're not going to be rolling out Robotaxis before they've rolled out supervised FSD anywhere, right? He adds that Tesla doesn't really know the time frame there, and it's up to regulators. And regulation in Europe, it could be a while. On safety, and why not scale Robotaxi as fast as possible to collect more data, to make it safer, blah, blah, blah. I covered this question recently in the lead up to earnings. Tesla pointing out they're already monitoring their fleet. You don't need a Robotaxi operating to collect data around safety. And an interesting note here, Musk pointed out that Tesla knows some major improvements are in the pipeline in terms of capabilities and features of FSD. And he notes that it doesn't really make sense to scale too fast prior to those massive improvements rolling out. And now the shock of all shocks, I'm going to say it. The first analyst question, at least in my notes, maybe there was one that I skipped over, absolutely shat on every question submitted by a retail investor. All of them. Analyst asks, in essence, for the Terafab project, who does what? Best question so far on the call, hands down. Musk extremely candid here. And if we follow the breadcrumbs and read between the lines, we might be able to deduce a few things. He says that they're still working out the details. Near term, Tesla is building the research fab, roughly $3 billion initiative with output aiming for around 2,000 wafers a month. The reason? You need to get to this type of volume to really know if there's issues. The goal here with the research fab is to test out new physics in chip fabrication, new techniques, and then to see if things actually work in production. Here's the big part. SpaceX will take care of, aka presumably pay for, then I don't know, but this is what I'm interpreting here, pay for. SpaceX will take care of the initial phase of scaling Terafab. Musk then adds that they've got to figure out the rest. Now, speculation alert. By the way, God, how good is it to get this juicy detail? But I'm going to speculate now. Here's my speculation based on these comments. And keep in mind, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Tesla does a research fab, spends some money, feeds those learnings to SpaceX, who in this situation is going to be the sugar daddy to fund the first actual high volume Terafab. Not a research fab, but the Terafab. This is likely to cost, fuck knows, add at least a zero and then maybe multiply by a few times onto the investment here. Good thing SpaceX is IPOing later this year. So SpaceX going to potentially spend an absolute fuck ton. Then, magically, at some point in the future, the whole got to figure out the rest part, ideally between the research fab, Tesla innovating in production techniques and new physics in chip fab, SpaceX committing a fuck ton to actually start scaling up what they've learned, what Tesla's learned and taught them about chip fab. And then hopefully after this, the figuring out the rest part involves Tesla and SpaceX becoming one so that they together can scale. Not the initial phase of Terafab, but the next phase and the next phase and the next phase. This is definitely the first time I've heard an analyst question that absolutely annihilated everything submitted by retail investors. Rest in peace us. But this is what I wanted to know. And we got actually some really useful and surprising detail. I thought at this point we go, we can't really talk about that SpaceX IPO soon. Instead, very clear. Still, a lot of got to figure out parts, which again to me, I mean, hello, merger, acquisition. This is the perfect opportunity for that to take place. That's how you figure out the rest. Asked about what are the key safety metrics, things that are holding back Robotaxi expansion, plus what's Tesla looking for to signal that they can expand. And some interesting insight here. Tesla tracks their entire existing fleet of vehicles, not just Robotaxis, but vehicles, period. They can learn a lot from that. And they have simulations running. Once they're confident that there's no major issues, that's when they expand. But Musk clarified and added that a lot of the issues that are holding back expansion boils down to the car being a total fucking pussy. For example, being too scared to cross a railroad or getting stuck when the light changes red. Now, I understand this. They've overtuned their vehicles to be hyper cautious because they do not want collisions or worse, high velocity collisions, fatalities and so on, which results in the car basically being a pussy. He added a very interesting example here. A Tesla Robotaxi got stuck in Austin trying to turn left because a Waymo had crashed into a bus in front of it. So the Tesla's, first one Tesla Robotaxi, then multiple, is waiting for the Waymo to move, but obviously the Waymo's not going to move because it has proceeded to crash into a bus. So it's things like that, the car being scared to move or getting stuck. Those are most of the issues that hold back expansion. More inconveniences, things like the car getting stuck or not knowing what to do or getting in an infinite loop, as opposed to actual safety issues. Overall, an excellent earnings report from Tesla. The call itself, some great insights. I have to say though, the retail investor questions were extremely mid. But congratulations to the goated analyst who's embarrassed every Tesla retail investor on Say who was upvoting questions we could have figured out for ourselves by actually asking about Terafab specifics. How's it going to work? Who's doing what? That was an incredibly useful insight, which, again, conspiracy alert, once again hints at an extremely obvious and inevitable merger between SpaceX AI and Tesla. Just a matter of time. My prediction, the Fab Lab, as I'm going to call it, Tesla's small-scale investment in new tech, ramping stuff up, happens. SpaceX IPO happens. SpaceX raises a ton of capital. SpaceX commits tens and tens of billions of dollars, potentially, to ramping actual Terafab. And at some point in the future, the two entities become one, work together as equal partners in this epic venture. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.